Now at 11, breaking news. A three-car crash sends a van flying into a restaurant in Panorama City. The CBS2 News team is here, and that crash is our top story. Let's get right to CBS2's Peter Dowd, who's live at the scene. Peter.
Hey, Pat, what a mess and what a close call here at Rincon Torino. This is an eatery off of Nordoff and Telebella, where you can see right now the cleanup is underway. Several workers cleaning up the glass after a van plowed through the window. This happened around 8:30 this evening. Sky 2 was over the scene. Incredibly, no one was hurt, but get this, there were actually people inside the eatery at the time. They were sitting next to the window when suddenly they heard the sound of the crash. They saw the van coming towards them, and people literally jumped out of the way as fast as they could as that van just plowed through the window. You can see this is completely smashed right now, but all of the workers I spoke with say they just feel grateful that nobody was hurt or even killed. This eatery has been here, I'm told, for about 35 years. They've never seen anything like this before, and they were actually making jokes earlier, calling this now a drive-through. So luckily they have a sense of humor in all this, again, because no one was hurt, but they expect to be out here all night, Pat, cleaning up this mess. Back to you.
It is a mess, too. Thank you, Peter. Well, an SUV plows into a group of teenagers in Orange County, and the teens were crossing Westminster Avenue in Garden Grove when they were hit. CBS 2's Chris Holmstrom is live with information on how the children are doing tonight. Chris.
Good evening, Pat. This all happened around 6 o'clock. So as you can imagine, this area was very busy. Now, the kids were crossing the intersection you see right behind me when that driver going westbound on Westminster just slammed right into them. Dashcam video shows what happened moments before the three teenagers were hit in this Garden Grove crosswalk. You could see them waiting at the intersection. When the light turned green, they started to walk. We'll pause it right before impact.
As soon as it turned, the kids just ran, but then the guy that was right here, he ran the red light and ended up taking all three kids with him.
Ruben Rodriguez immediately called 911 and went to check on the kids. You can see others also running to their aid.
They were all in pretty bad shape, but there was one in specific that got hit pretty bad, and I was just trying to help to keep him with me.
Sky 2 video shows the scene from above. You could see the area shut down to traffic and shoes from the kids in the middle of the street.
They were bleeding pretty badly from their head, a few bumps and bruises, blood on their arms.
Authorities say the driver stayed on scene and is cooperating with investigators. They go on to say it does not appear he was under the influence. As for the three kids, they were all taken to the local trauma center with serious injuries.
I'm just praying that all three of the kids ended up being good.
And witnesses we spoke would say all three kids appeared to be okay and were conscious when they went to the hospital. Reporting live from Garden Grove, I'm Chris Holmstrom for CBS 2 News.
Bad weather may have played a role in a deadly tourist boat accident tonight in Branson, Missouri. At least 11 people died after the boat capsized on Table Rock Lake. The boat sank in a thunderstorm with 31 people on board. Recovery efforts are still underway tonight as some passengers are still unaccounted for. It may have looked like a legitimate plea for funeral donations, but it was all a scam. And tonight, community members are outraged. CBS 2's Rachel Kim is live in La Puente tonight with that story. Rachel.
Yeah, Pat, a La Puente resident told us earlier this afternoon he saw a man standing under that truck route sign, holding up a sign of his own, looking sad and somber, looking for donations. He said he soon found out this was a cruel and disgusting scam. At first glance, it's a sight many of us have seen before. But when a man named Mike looked a little closer, he couldn't believe it.
I turned red. I want to scream at him and say something to him, but I didn't want to get involved.
Around 2:30 Thursday afternoon, Mike was stopped at the light at Amar Road and Hacienda Boulevard in La Puente when he saw a man standing at the corner with this sign. He realized the picture wasn't of Jose Mendoza. It was Gabriel Fernandez, the 8-year-old boy from Palmdale who died in 2013 after suffering abuse at the hands of his mother and her boyfriend.
I immediately saw his picture, and I'm like, the guy has the nerve to use the picture that's all over the internet. So yeah, it hurt, but then it kind of turned a little bit of anger. And
Mike said he took a picture and posted it to Twitter to warn others. But we soon found another person who did the same thing. Check out her picture. Same sign, different guy.
But yeah, I was in shock, wondering, how many, people this guy's taking hard-earned money from, and Just a low life, scamming people for their money.
Police say in general, panhandling or asking for money isn't illegal as long as the person isn't accosting you and aren't soliciting in specific areas like freeway off-ramps. If they do, police can issue them a citation. As for the man Mike saw with the sign,
I'm a firm believer in karma, and I hope it comes back to him.
I spoke with Gabriel Fernandez's cousin over the phone tonight. She's angry and outraged. Her message to the people doing this: let Gabriel rest in peace. Reporting live tonight in La Puente, Rachel Kim, CBS 2 News.
Breaking news in Corona. Crews are still battling a fire that has grown to 250 acres. It broke out this afternoon near Skyline Drive. CBS 2's Tina Patel is live where some neighbors are still evacuated. Tina?
Yeah, Pat, this fire is only 5% contained. That's why there's so many crews that are still here on standby. The good news is that the conditions are a lot more favorable. The winds have died down, and that's why right now it does look like all the homes in this neighborhood have been saved. A scary day for homeowners in the Orchard Glen neighborhood of Corona as they watch the Skyline fire come dangerously close to their homes. It was a hiker who first spotted the flames Thursday afternoon.
At first we thought it was going to be contained because it sort of was, it was small, it was in the canyon area, and then it just, with the winds being so bad, it just got out of control quick.
Some homeowners knew what to expect after last year's canyon fire, so they started packing up early.
When we saw the smoke and the ashes coming down, we kind of just put all the dogs away and we just kind of waited to see what they said.
Others waited until police made the evacuation orders mandatory before they decided to leave.
Because last time we evacuated, nothing happened. But you just never know the second, but it wasn't this close either.
There's a little bit of sadness because you don't know what you're going to come home to considering how close it is. It's super, super close.
Thick smoke blanketed the sky and ash started falling, making it hard for homeowners to breathe. But they did find some relief in the number of crews that turned out to try and save their homes.
I've seen quite a few plane drops. I've seen a lot of, I saw the Norco Fire Department. I've seen the Wilderness Fire Department, Corona. I think I saw Anaheim. They're definitely on it.
I mean, they're definitely doing a great job. They have all the tankers out. They're dropping the fire retardant down. They've got the helicopters. So, I mean, I'm thinking that we're good right now.
Things are definitely better. That's why the city of Corona has lifted a few of the mandatory evacuations, but there's still about 50 homes where homeowners are going to have to wait. All of the information is on Corona's website and social media pages. We are told that there are several crews that are going to be still doing water drops from the air throughout the night just to make sure this fire doesn't get any bigger. That's the latest in Corona. We'll send it back to you.
Honey, get inside. They're just in a house.
Look at this. Also breaking tonight, tornadoes ravaged several towns in Iowa. Just outside of Des Moines, roofs were shredded and homes just disappeared. In Altoona, the sky filled with twisters that ripped a path through town. And several workers were injured at the Vermeer factory in Pella. The White House is preparing for round 2 with Vladimir Putin. The Russian president has been invited to visit Washington this fall. CBS 2 political reporter Dave Ryan joins us now with more on today's bombshell announcement. Dave?
Well, Pat, this has been a politically stormy week for President Trump, with lots of controversy over Russian meddling and his comments after the summit with Vladimir Putin. And today's surprising announcement that Putin will be invited to Washington for more talks soon doesn't appear to do much to calm the waters.
The White House has announced on Twitter that Vladimir Putin is coming to the White House in the fall.
Say that again? Director of National Intelligence Chief Dan Coates may be laughing, but for the intelligence community, this is no laughing matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be special.
The White House confirmed the move this morning. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders tweeting, President Trump asked National Security Advisor John Bolton to invite President Putin to Washington in the fall, and those discussions are already underway. And in Congress on Thursday, there was pandemonium when Democrat Congressman Steny Hoyer gave a fiery speech on a Russia-related issue and the reaction to it.
Vote yes on this amendment for your country.
The new invitation for another Putin summit comes at a time when there are still plenty of unanswered questions about exactly what was said in the room between the two presidents at their first Helsinki summit. 3 days after Helsinki, in a stunning revelation, even National Intelligence Director Dan Coates said he still has no idea.
Well, you're right. I don't know what happened in that meeting. I would have suggested a different way.
President Trump was out making his case Thursday in an interview with CNBC.
Look at the sanctions I've put on. Look at the diplomats I threw out. Look at all of the things that I've done. Nobody else did what I've done. Obama didn't do it. Obama was a patsy for Russia.
Now, the Washington Post reporting tonight that President Trump's advisors were in an uproar over Intelligence Director Dan Coates' interview at the Security Forum in Aspen, part of which we just saw. One senior White House official told the Post that Coates had gone rogue and may have infuriated President Trump with some of his not-so-positive statements about the Helsinki summit. Pat, still more to come up, I'm sure. Back to you.
You can bet on that, right, Dave? Thank you. Well, boy, did this guy get served. See what happened when he messed with the wrong waitress.
And he's called the Preppy Store Masher, and it's because he's preying on young women in the San Fernando Valley. I'm Tom Waite, and I'll explain coming up in a live report.
Passengers watch in awe. A massive great white shark spotted less than a mile from shore.
It's like a reverse sushi thing.
Yeah.
Coming up, get ready. We have some heat heading our way. We'll tell you about it on the way.
Also ahead, the return of Walter White and a whole lot more. The sights, sounds, and big news from the first day of Comic-Con.